What's up, boys?
Yo,
How are we all
Yo,
doing
Hamza,
today?
back in the UK.
Nice to see
amazing.
everyone back home in the OG room now. So, YouTube's about to blow up this year. Thank you,
Nice,
boys.
nice,
Thank you,
nice.
boys. Okay, let me mute everyone. Let me show you what we've got for today. I was just on a call with James Channy, actually. Anyone know him? Just type one in the chats. Hang on, let me get the lecture for you guys. Yeah, we've got an exciting. I was working on this, like the slides for this lecture just before this. There you go. So we're going to do a lecture on goal setting today. And this is the ultimate way to become more masculine and successful. There. This is so powerful. When I tell you right now that if you obsess with the skill of goal setting and achievements, you will actually go and make the progress that you want in life. There's a quote that I've wrote later on in this, but I'll say it to you right now. It's actually pathetic that most people spend most of their time doing stuff that doesn't even align with their goals. Just think about that. Most people do stuff like for most of the day, most of their time is literally not even aligned to their goals. They just do like what? Like basically nothing productive, nothing in any direction. Like this is what most men's lives look like. And it's a good question to ask. Do these people have goals? I actually really think they do, honestly. Go and ask your chump friends. Now, they won't have smart goals. I want to make 10K in December, but they'll have some kind of vague dream, right? They still have like basically a B right there. They know where they're at, A. They kind of have never really thought about the tasks needed because they've never thought about this. But most people, like you'd probably agree with this, when most of the people still have a B, right? Make more money, get more muscles, get head. Like most of them still have something that they're striving for. They usually don't know this, like how to get there. But worse than this is like, this is what their life looks like. Just this bullshit. Like, literally just this is how, and what, what's interesting, what the saddest thing is, what most people are like, this still takes effort. Anyone really believes that a normal person's life isn't hard? Think about it, like anyone who knows like a normal person right now, just type one in the chat. Like, do you agree that their life is actually still fucking hard? It's still discipline. Like it still takes a certain weird level of discipline, right? So they're experiencing effort. They're experiencing pain with none of the results. It's just like unintelligent people experiencing all of the negatives, but literally getting no reward for it. That is like, yeah, level -1. That is like the, like where we don't want to be. On the other side, if you become a man who is good at goal setting and achievements, you will literally start to make consistent progress to these big things in life. You will feel every single day some sense of pride and achievement because you're getting closer and closer to the vision that you've created for your life. Who wants to achieve that? Who wants to have a life where literally every night you feel like you're in the right path, like you have done the right things today? Think about how awesome that is. I'm not even talking about making the money. I'm not even talking about having the Bugatti, the woman, or anything like that. That stuff's nice. That stuff's really nice. But I'm saying, like, just imagine the life where you literally just know that you're doing good things in line with your vision for the future. You just know for certain you're on the right path. That's got to be worth millions. Imagine a whole life of knowing that, yep, you're in the right direction compared to this bullshit, wondering why, like, you're still working a 9 to 5 when you're 40 years old. It's like where's your intelligence gone for these middle-aged people working a 9 to 5, 40 years old, got like £2,000 in their bank account? Where's the thinking to think like, something's not adding up. I think I've been sold a lie here, bro. This is a bit fucked right now, right? This is what their life looks like. Fucking index funds. This is a quote from The Way of the Superior Man, which I read recently. Your gift is knowing where you are, where you want to get to, and knowing what you need to do to get there. This is a masculine gift for yourself and also for your woman and basically for the world as well, if you want to influence other people. This is your gift. This is like basically masculinity in a nutshell, is this A to B. Like, this is what I said. This is masculinity. Just this simple drawing is just A to B. There's 3 steps to be masculine. Have a vision, figure out the disciplined plan to achieve the vision, communicate that vision to others. And this one's like somewhat optional, we can say. This is masculinity in a nutshell. You want to be masculine, this is what you do. You start and know, okay, I'm here. You don't bullshit yourself. Don't bullshit yourself. This is me when I was like 17 years old thinking I was jacked after doing like 3 months of bulking. And I was like, yeah, I'm so big, but don't bullshit yourself. You're here. You've got like 14-inch arms, okay? Let's just be honest. You're like, you got this Andrew Tate like mindset and stuff, bro. Your bank account's like 3 digits, bro. Come on. Remember where you are with a bit of humility. I am here. This is my current problems in life. This is where I want to get to. This we think with the aggression. So this is humility. This is ego. Does that make sense? Use humility for this one here. Use ego for this one here. This is such an interesting thing. Have humility to understand and realize where you are in life right now, but have ego, have arrogance to where you think you will like want to get to. This way you are a big dreamer, you're a man who's dissatisfied with life, but you're honest with where you are, and so you're not bullshitting yourself. Simple masculinity. Ego isn't the enemy in this case. And if anything, honestly, ego is for the successful people. It's not cool to say in the modern day. Humility and being humble is nice when you first begin, but fuck being humble if you want to get successful. Simple as that. Any successful person that you see is not humble. If they're being humble, it's because they think you're a peasant and they're trying to convince you. When they go up and grab the award and say, I'm so thank you so much to everyone who helped me. What they're really thinking is like, I'm better than all you peasants. My testosterone's triple what all of you have right now. Every champion, every fucking winner right now is in their room thinking that you're a dick, you're a pussy. They will destroy you. They're thinking they're going to eat them alive. There's like some cute, like, wholesome artist girl, some, some Hollywood movie star or something. She's in her room right now fucking like thinking like demonic thoughts about some other actress that she doesn't like. But when she grabs the reward, she's like, oh, hey guys, thank you so much, guys. Like, they're all arrogant as fuck. You want to get success. By the way, this is like the graph of success as well. You want to get success. It's basically just ego, dissatisfaction. It's arrogance. Good things come to those who are arrogant as fuck, but pretend that they're not. Now, at the same time, you still want to have humility, right? You still want to be a student. But this is the kind of mindset you need towards your goals. If you're trying to be soft with your goals, if you're trying to be like cute as fuck or whatever, like, oh, I'm just going to do me and stuff, I don't believe you're going to get your goals. If you're telling me like, nah, Hamza, I'm fucking aggressive towards this right now. Every day I'm waking up early. Every day I'm checking off the boxes. I'm going to take what's mine. Now we're talking. Now I'm going to start thinking like, damn, like this person's onto something here. So first, stop being a bitch. Take personal responsibility. This is like let's say level 1 of goal setting is just responsibility. Understand you are where you are in life because of your own doing, and you will get to point B with your own doing too. Daddy is not going to help you get there. School system is not going to help you get there. I'm not going to help you get there. It's only you who can do the work. I can send you 10,000 subscribers right now. You'll fuck it up because you're not capable, because you aren't the man who deserves to be at B. I can send you money. I can set up your funnel. I could set up your school community. You'll let it all drop because you are like this like cummy, smelly young man. Your room smelled like cum for the last 10 years. You can barely even lift like 20 kg above your head, which is pathetic, right? This is responsibility. It's being pissed off at yourself and being upset and thinking like, damn, like he's actually right, 20 kg. My ancestors probably could have lifted like double that without even knowing about hypertrophy training. And here I am, fucking 20 kg, like mummy weights I struggle with. And I've got like some weird podgy stomach. I've got wide hips. I've got like titties and stuff. Responsibility. Understand you are where you are right now because of your own doing. Anyone not believe that? Anyone got an incident where you're like, nah, you know what? Like it is someone else's fault. Because there might be some valid reasons, honestly. You might say, for example, my father did this. You might say, for example, I was born with this genetic. You might say, for example, there was like some kind of accident that happened, and that's what kept me back. No one's typing in chat, but if there is anyone who's thinking about these things, always just think to yourself that no matter what's happened to you, there can be blame on other people, but responsibility to fix your life is always your own. If you put your trust in the system, in parents, in me, and you think that someone else is going to get you success in life, you're sadly mistaken. It always needs to be yourself. And so wherever you are in life right now, every situation, every goal, family, relationships, fitness, work, this is like step 1. So basically, stop being a bitch. To be honest, I'm not sure if we needed this because I'm basically quite sure that everyone in here isn't like this. Just type one in the chat. Anyone like fairly certain you're not a bitch and you're able to take personal responsibility, and you know that, for example, if you're fat, it's your fault. It's not the seed oil's fault. It's not the evil nutritionist. We can blame them, and we hate those motherfuckers, and they are our enemies. Fine, sure, but it's still your responsibility. Same with like money. It's not the school system's fault or your parents' fault that you're broke. We can blame them and see them as like, like bad people or whatever, but it's still your responsibility to fix that. So here's an action step that we can all do right now. Imagine your ideal life when you're 10 years older and comment on the Zoom chat right now what you see. And these are 4 things that you can kind of talk about if you want, but if there's a different vision you get, just comment that. And let's see what answers we get. I'll be reading them out now. So my one, you guys already know, it's where you wake up next to your beautiful feminine woman, you step outside of your room and you're healthy, like athletic children are there, they're based. Your son's still a son, your daughter's still a daughter. There's none of that shit going on. You step outside of your house, your brother lives next to you, your male friends live next to you with their wives. It's wholesome as fuck. You're all hitting workouts together. You've got purposeful work, financial freedom. That's mine. We've got calisthenics, athletes, compound with my brothers, healthy family, purposeful work, brotherhood, full body control, loving wife, few children, financial freedom, amazing body, doing work that I love, nice. Adonis lifestyle, masculine as fuck, money in the bank. I see myself being a great leader, leading people, helping them, giving them advice, and having a very healthy relationship with a very beautiful woman. Can't believe that it's a goal to say we have a daughter that's a girl. Retired mom, got a nice body, feminine woman, complete freedom in all. Bench press 500 pounds. Nice. So this is like our dream life that we want to set up, that we'll be setting goals on soon. But I just wanted to jog your mind right now. And I want to remind you specifically, this is the important part. 10 years from now, we want to be thinking 10 years. Because there was this question I asked on MJ's call. And I asked you guys this. I said, what's your long-term goal with relationships? Tell me that right now. What is your long-term goal with dating? Someone write in the chat. Happily married. Married, children, Latino wife. We'll put her on there as well. Me too. Okay, long-term goal, wholesome as fuck. You're going to be a productive member of society. You're going to be a married father of healthy children. Amazing, right? Imagine we didn't have a long-term goal. What are your short-term desires? Degeneracy, sex, big booty bitches. Hoes, basically. Hoes, Instagram. So we have just taken you from an outstanding man, a father, happily married with healthy children, basically the pinnacle of fucking society, like the whole society runs on men like this, into a full-on degenerate with just one question of like, let's just forget about your long-term goals. Think about how crazy that is. So the reason why every goal we think about, we want it to be fairly long-term, is because if we only think about our short-term desires, that will end up leading you. Like, imagine this is the ultimate place. This is where you are. This is how life should be if you are totally and utterly, impeccably disciplined. But for most men, it's not going to look like that, is it? It's going to look like this. Like that. Look at all this wasted time. He could have already gotten to B already, but this is how most men live their lives. This is how some of you motherfuckers live your lives with business models as well. Anyone's like business trajectory look like this? Oh, I'm going to keep changing my niche. Maybe that's the reason why I'm not getting views on YouTube, right? Look at the wasted effort. Wasted effort and all of this time. How do you think this man felt? Imagine this man that I've just drawn here, and his goal is to get to B. How do you think he feels living this life here? What is his feeling texture day by day? Depleted, depressed, ashamed, disgusting, lost, pathless. He's basically at a whim to his emotions, isn't he? He's not doing what he needs to do to get to B. So what kind of sexual energy is that, where someone just like keeps following their current emotion and desire? It's feminine. basically, the shorter term that you think, in a weird way, this isn't like very spiritual or whatever, but in a weird way, we can say it's more feminine. And the ultimate short-term thing that you can use for your decision making is your emotions, because they only last for like a few minutes at a time. Yeah, short term means you've got gyno, basically. Who wants to have gyno? So you don't want to be thinking short term. You don't want to be setting goals on short term as well. Sometimes you've got to, right? So obviously it's like you don't set a 10-year goal for what grades you're going to get because you're only in school for one more year. Let's not be retarded. Obviously sometimes you're going to have to set short term goals. That's fine. For example, I don't set any goals for YouTube longer than 1 year, because you never fucking know what happens with YouTube, right? Is it smart or stupid to set a 5-year or 10-year goal on YouTube? It's kind of hard to say. It's like, is TikTok number 7 going to take over by then? Is YouTube still going to be a popular app? Are we really going to be wanting to be on YouTube in 10 years compared to a different website, or I don't know, some VR AI technology or something? So it's a bit hard to set a goal on something like that. But in general, the longer your goal, the better. So I wanted to just tell you a little story of mine, which was smart goals versus spirituality. So if you've followed me for a while, you know that from 2020 till 2022, let's say, my life was just completely and utterly just going upwards. Subscribers, money, fame, status, attraction, everything. It was like I literally had the celebrity effect in my city. I was making amazing money for a man my age. I would go to the gym and there was basically almost no one who'd be making as much money as I was. Of course, there was like rich guys who had saved up money for like decades and stuff, but living a good life, like just simple life. And I said this to my girl, it's like, I miss the days when life was so simple that if I was getting more subs and more muscle, life was fucking amazing. It was like such a simple life. That's all I cared. Anyone there right now, anyone like feel that, like, as long as you're waking up with more subscribers or more money, and you're also waking up with like some kind of fitness, like progress, like life's fucking good. That's when my big brain started to say like, oh, well, this stuff's not even important, bro, because in the end we all die anyway, and so you may as well just like go move to Bali in Thailand, and then money's not even that important, bro. And so basically I dropped all of this stuff for like more spirituality, of this like idea, okay, I'm gonna go train yoga for hours a day, and material possessions aren't worth anything. And so what happened was I had this simple life which felt so amazing, so just straightforward, which is perfect for a man from A to B. And I started to have this spiritual revelation that I'm not sure if you'd want to live this kind of lifestyle. So, to have like a stoic, not really stoic, but like to have a spiritual mindset that material possessions don't change your life and everything. And what I'm saying is, don't sacrifice your smart goals for spirituality, because it's boring as fuck. So I went full spirituality mode, and let me tell you, it's fucking boring. So this is me in Bali, and it's I can't tell you how fucking boring it is being a masculine man who doesn't have this A to B obsession right now. The spiritual guys think that this is like in somewhat of like, you can be wasting your life like this, and you absolutely can if you're working on the wrong things that you don't even feel like are important. But basically what happened was I had so much direction in my life, and then in 2023 it just kind of like stopped, and it was just all over the place of like what's even important in life. I allowed my big brain to overthink rather than just like going forward with the same plan that was serving me so well and would have continued serving me. Anyone like followed me from all this time like saw that specific part of me, which was like I had so much direction, so much progress, and then you saw me randomly I got into the spiritual path. And there's nothing wrong with like pursuing spirituality and faith. Those things are amazing, but don't just completely drop your smart goals. This is like the thing that's going to give you direction in life. Spirituality is like a nice kind of life ethos, almost like a philosophy that you want to follow. And it's just a quick story of like, basically I started to think of subscribers and money being like not even that important. I was already rich, and so I was thinking to myself like, why am I waking up every day and working on money? Why am I waking up every day and going to the gym? Like, none of these things are important anyway. Your spirituality, you've just got to like improve your health and stretch and like feel love, guys. And this one day, man, let me just fucking tell you about it, right? So I'm in Bali, which is like the spiritual center of the world. And this might happen to you, right? It might get to the point where you've been making a lot of progress in like 1 or 2 years from now, and it starts to feel less rewarding, the diminishing results. Anyone got that already? The diminishing results start like taking over. So for example, the muscle gain goes like slower, the subscriber growth goes slower. Like I'd say for muscle it's probably happening to some of the guys here, right? And So I'm in the middle of Bali, basically sacrificing money and muscle to be there, the two things that have directed my life, and I'm starting to question everything. And I organize what's called a mushroom ceremony. So basically, this guy is going to come over and give me psychedelic mushrooms and then like watch after me so I can have like some kind of spiritual revelation. And the first thing that happens when he enters my door is I go up to him, like I see him and I go like, wait, hang on, let me just put the camera on me. Okay. So I go up to him and he walks through my villa door and I say like, oh, what's up, bro? So I stick my hand out like this, which if you can see, it's kind of like an invite for the other person to kind of like grab your hand like this. And it's kind of like a masculine handshake, right? I do this and he goes like, oh, bro, I'm a hugger. So I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So I hug him, right? Okay. Nothing too serious, whatever. And I start, we take this shit and then, he's like, oh, I've also got this thing. This is called rapé. So it's kind of like nicotine or tobacco that like these tribes will kind of like blow into your nose. So he brings out this pipe and it's this powder, and he puts this sort of powdery stuff inside of the pipe, sticks the pipe in my nose, and then blows it out like a blowpipe. And basically imagine a searing hot pain for like seconds all through your nose. Imagine it's like genuinely like 8 out of 10 painful for like 10 seconds straight, and it makes you like you're crying and you like start like spazzing out a little bit, and then it kind of calms down, and it's just like it makes you like more mindful. It's a certain kind of drug that tribes and whatever will take, right? So that's one thing, and I'm like, okay, and I ask him like, what does it do? And he's like, oh yeah, it'll make you like more focused and mindful for like a few minutes, right? Okay, whatever. Take the mushrooms, and I'm lying down, and then he's playing like this like music, like this I don't even like like just I don't even know how to fucking describe it, man. Like lame spiritual music of like do 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 like that shit, right? So imagine me, I'm literally starfishing on the floor of my villa, right in the fucking middle of the villa, with this guy sat next to me, like literally just watching me have a trip, and I've got like a beanbag over my eyes, and it's like I'm literally like it started to work on me, but I've got a massive tolerance to drugs. Side note, right? And basically, it doesn't really like do that much to me. It's not powerful enough. I need like higher dosage of basically most drugs for it to do anything to me. I've always been like that, right? So it doesn't really do much. I start kind of like wanting to get up and go sit in the sun instead. And as I'm like slowly kind of getting up, imagine being in that position where you've been starfishing, you've got the shit over your eyes, and I slowly started to twitch and like get up a little bit slowly. I'm starting to pull it off, and I just hear him say like, surrender. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll surrender then. I lie back down. I'm genuinely getting bored at this point. I'm like, this guy thinks he's like leading me to some kind of revelation. I'm actually bored as fuck. And eventually I get up and say to him like, oh yeah, I want to go and like sit in the sun and stuff. All right, fine. We go to the ceiling and start having like a chat about random shit, and I'm just kind of sat there. Then we hit the rapé thing again, and he teaches me how to do it to him. So we're both just like swapping back and forth, like inhaling into each other's nose. And eventually we just start speaking about business and marketing and shit. He's like, oh yeah, this is only like my part-time job. I actually have like a social media marketing company. And I'm like, oh fuck's sake, like completely taken out of the spiritual lens. Eventually he leaves, right? I give him a hug, whatever. He leaves, and this is no offense to him, but he leaves and he does this, and he's like, as he's walking out of my place, he goes like that. That's the point where it all just fucking breaks down, and I'm just thinking like, my mum would be so fucking disappointed. I could be making 5 times the amount of money, providing for my family, working hard, helping the boys, and here I am like basically listening to this fucking goofy ass music saying that money doesn't matter and that like spirituality is really important. And it made me look at spirituality in such a different way, that basically a lot of these people will come over to these countries like Bali just to basically get like some kind of feeling. Like let's say for example, breathwork is like a really good thing, releasing trauma, whatever, but at some point it's like you're doing it for like a feeling of like almost like a high. And I started to see how absurd it was that all these fucking white people were here in Bali, basically like spending all their parents' money, not even making money on their business, and just going like hyperventilating, and then just being able to look at each other and be like, oh, but I felt something. Did you feel something? I felt something. Whoa. And I just thought about how fucking how odd this life is, with it's not that fun right now, but you're chasing some kind of high anyway. And this is when my mindset for spiritual, I spat on my screen when I was doing the breath work. This is where my desire for spirituality really dropped off, and I realized how stupid it was that I had sacrificed like money and purpose for this. And it made me even look at the way of the superior man differently, when I thought like a lot of this spirituality, it kind of tells you like detachment from material possessions is a good thing. And it kind of makes sense. Many of you will eventually, when you make so much fucking money, you're going to end up considering this. And I'm just telling you right now, don't go full on. Consider spirituality, have faith, believe in God, get into a religion, do breath work, do like yoga, do all those things, but never get to the point where you sacrifice smart goals. Also, never get to the point where you sacrifice health and, you know, love for smart goals either. So obviously, like, don't be the depressed millionaire who's about to get divorced and eventually like kill himself because he's just focused on business. But at the same time, don't be the fucking hugger who's like struggling in business and doing this shit, right? You need a mix of both. And this is absolutely no disrespect to that guy. He did a really good job. He was a really nice, lovely guy. But it just made me change my mind about like how much you should be pushing for spirituality. I think it should be a supplement on top of your current life, but it shouldn't be something that you go extreme in my opinion. So I just wanted to give you this because I've had times where I've sacrificed smart goals for spirituality, and now I'm in some ways I'm not sacrificing spirituality. I'm just not going like above and beyond where I'm starfish in a villa in Bali trying to feel something inside of me. Basically, in general, it's always like do both. It's like the middle is usually the better option. I'm just more of an extreme tendency guy. Go with the middle. Go the smart goals, do the spirituality. When you achieve a lot in your smart goals, you're going to end up pursuing spirituality. It's what happens to most people. When you eventually wake up and you realize just how like unimportant money is, then you'll end up considering spirituality. When you get into spirituality and you see the huggers and the breathers, then you'll probably come back to those smart goals and we'll welcome you back here. So there's another actionable step. We're going to figure out your main goal, which we can actually say is your purpose right now, like a very simple way to find your purpose. Write down 5 goals that you have right now, just in the chat. And just post them, right? Like 1 to 5 and 5 goals that you can currently think of that you have. And if you don't have 5, just try and write 5 that like you think might actually help you. Write them all in the same message, please, so it stays like nice and concise. So in your one bit of text, you've got 5 points. Learn a new language, get a 6-pack, 7K per month next year, have a community, read 12 books. Find a wife, make 10K, get experience, YouTube channel, 10K a month, become a pilot, leaner and muscular. Fitness, social skills, money, consistency, relationships. 1K subscribers, 10K a month, 26 high quality YouTube videos. 2.5K goals in business, 100K subs by the end of the year. Okay, so you've got multiple goals right now. Now ask yourself this question. What one goal out of all of them that you have, if it were immediately accomplished, would have the greatest positive impact on your life? So think about all of the goals that you have. What one goal, if it was immediately accomplished, would have the greatest positive impact on your life? Most of us saying money. Align your life to that one goal. Simple as that. No more like bullshit overthinking. You've basically found what we can consider is your purpose right now, at least your current purpose layer. And I've just made a quick point here, like unless that purpose layer needs prerequisites. So for example, your big goal that you said could be money, but the prerequisite before there could be some kind of like work experience or skills first. It could be, for example, if you wanted to be like in a career or something that you need to go and get the training or whatever for it. If you want to be a YouTuber, money could be the biggest goal, but you might need to go and get some kind of experience to actually be credible enough to talk about like self-improvement YouTube, for example. So for example, this is my list here in order. The biggest thing that would change my life and give it meaning being is having healthy children, having children, basically. Then the second thing would be the polarized love, then the business success, then the masculine fitness. But what's interesting is, even though this is like my current sort of priority list, it actually has to go backwards for me. So this is what I would answer to this question, what many of you have answered, but you must consider the prerequisites when you achieve goals. So before I can even consider healthy children, I've got to do it in this order, which is basically the exact opposite. So how interesting is that? I have a list of basically how important goals would be, but the order that I achieve them must be exactly opposite. Does that make sense? So for many of you, let's say, okay, money is the ultimate goal. But if you just focus on money, you'd probably struggle. Many of you right now, let's say if you want to be YouTubers, many of you are just simply not credible, experienced, or well-spoken enough to go on YouTube. Many of you at least need to go and live life. Remember, I started YouTube older and more experienced than most of us here. I had already been in the gym consistently for 5 years. I had traveled to multiple countries. I had partied 50, 100 times. I had been with lots and lots of women. I had been in social situations. I had literally fought and dropped other men on the street. I had experienced like a vibrant life. And then I started making YouTube videos. So I was a full-on total degenerate criminal, deported from fucking countries, ran away from police, knocked guys out and everything, and then like moved back home, full-on monk mode, and then I started to post videos. Many of you, your room still smells like cum. Right now. Your parents smell it. You don't because you're so used to it. Many of you, honestly, your room smells like doo-doo right now. If you grab your index finger right now and put it in between your pelvis, like the crack between your pelvis and your legs, and rub it there and smell it, I bet it smells like salt and vinegar crisps. Right? Who wants to go and do that? I bet it smells like ass, bro. Literally. So it's like many of us right now, many young men in the world have simply just not lived lives enough that money can even be the goal that you focus on. Because the only way to make money when you have no experience, no skills, is basically to just get a job. Boring. Boo. E-Man told us business is better, so I'm going to go help chiropractors, right? So this might be your number one goal that we've just associated here, but you've got to think of how a quest works. You guys like remember playing doing quests in video games where it's like, okay, the ultimate thing you wanted to do was like this quest called Dragon Slayer, right? Fucking awesome. This is your ultimate purpose. This is your biggest goal. This is the thing, the constraint that's going to help you, right? Before you can do that, you need 31 magic. Magic might not be your purpose layer. It might not be the thing you're interested in, but you need to do it before you actually do this thing here. This is the brutal reality which many of you will not want to face. I'm telling you right now, I honestly, how many people do we have? I honestly think that we've got a solid 10, 20, 30 guys in here who don't want to hear this advice. You just want to make money right now because you've been sold this idea that it's going to change your life and it's so amazing. And it is. It is really nice to have that. But you need to have the prerequisites first. You need to. If you're trying to just make money, congratulations, go work a shit job. That's as good as you can possibly make it. But if you want to make a fuck ton of money from business, you've got to do the prerequisites first. You've got to go and do like the lesser job, the lesser business to begin with. You've got to go in, for example, I did 5 years of fucking fitness first. I did like hundreds of nights out cold. I did hundreds of rejections from women. I literally had hundreds of girls in my contact list. And I'd been with like easily like 50 or 75 girls by the time that I was making videos on it. And now we've got kids who have literally never even kissed a girl, making dating advice and being life coaches. Which version do you want to be in? Because you like, look, even I have this humility looking at you right now and telling you this is the order of priorities for me. And this is how I have to actually go about them. So in a weird way, masculine fitness was going to be the thing that probably, gives me the least amount of like positive impact, like more muscle, right? So I don't care that much about muscle. I'm already jacked. I'm at a good size. I've got diminishing results. I can work hard like a dog for an entire year and get like 3 pounds of muscle. Who gives a fuck, right? Like who cares? But interestingly, that's actually the single most important goal that I have right now, because that's going to make me the kind of man who deserves the business success. It's going to make me the kind of man who will polarize love. It's going to make me the kind of father who will have healthy children. Isn't that interesting? My lowest priority is actually the single most important thing in my life right now. So ask yourself this right now as a quick actionable step. Many of you said money is your ultimate goal. What are the prerequisites for this quest? What do you need to do differently. And Hey Piers just asked a good question. Is it really, what do you need a bigger, better body for? This is the interesting thing. It's not just about the muscle. It's about the man that I have to become to make that muscle and to get that strength. Does that mean, like, imagine if nothing changed and all I had was a 1 inch bigger bicep, who gives a fuck? It's not going to make me a better father or whatever, right? But the man I have to become to build the extra inch on my biceps, think about that man. I have to wake up at the same time. I have to eat the same meals. I have to burn through the fucking pain. My knees hurt and I'm still walking to the gym right now. That's the difference. So you need to think to yourself, what is the prerequisite right now before your ultimate goal? So your quest is like money. This is the money quest. But the prerequisites to this, what is it? So someone put them down in the chat. What do you think the prerequisites are to you? You want to make money. Let's say this is the 10K quest, right? 10K a month quest. What are the prerequisites? Six-pack. That's actually an interesting one. It doesn't have to be, but it can be, right? If you're going to start talking about fitness videos and discipline. And many of you, let's be honest, I watch your YouTube videos. Don't think that I don't. You motherfuckers are talking about discipline. I see you with like fucking 17% body fat. Fuck you on about discipline. If you don't have a six-pack, why the fuck are you talking about discipline for? Pussy. Okay, more. Skills. Storytelling. Skills, I say communication. No matter what business you're going for, but particularly for the YouTubers here, that's going to be very important. What time are we on? Fine. Okay. Focus. So we can say, like, let's say traits. So like focus, patience, delaying gratification, setting up an environment for success. I'll say 4, life experiences. Have you ever had your heart broken before? You're never the same after that. Have you ever lost your first love? Have many of you ever loved a woman before? Have you lost that woman that you loved? Have you been cheated on? Have you cheated? Well, guys are typing yes, but for many of us, we've got to be typing no, right? We haven't even lived lives. We're still boys. We haven't. Who's been on a rite of passage here? Any man actually been on a rite of passage where your father or your big brother took you somewhere and basically abandoned you in the woods? I haven't. Every man in your generation had that shit. And here we are, soft fucking low T guys who are scared of the cold and we have to like take cold showers and as like our form of like connecting to our masculine youth. So think about like how little we've actually experienced. And many of us want to make a fuck ton of money. The money comes to the man who deserves it. It comes to the kind of man who's doing like that crazy stuff. How many women have you cold approached? How many women have broken your heart? How many times have you had a girl who gave you a number and then she didn't even respond? For me, literally hundreds, genuinely hundreds. Many of us, less than 10 cold approaches in our entire life. We tried it like twice, got black-pilled, and then thought never again. I'll wait till I look smacks first and grow my TikTok hair boy out first. How many shit jobs have you worked at? Exactly. Many of us, 0. So have you had life experiences that developed you? Because it's interesting, many of us don't want the shit job, for example. Would I be here today if I didn't work that shit job? It's interesting. It's very interesting, isn't it? You guys don't want the shit job. Would I have been here today if I didn't have the shit job when I was earlier? It's very interesting, isn't it? You're avoiding the hard work that would actually later on lead you to be the kind of man that you want to be, just because the hard work is kind of hard and difficult right now. Go and do an overnight shift at a factory this weekend, next weekend. Just one. Never do it again. Just do one, just to feel like utter shit and go cry in the bathrooms. And I guarantee the guy who does that is going to end up becoming more successful than all the motherfuckers who hear this and think, oh yeah, well, it sounds like a cool advice, bro. Sleep deprivation is actually really bad. Night shifts are bad. Hamza Huberman said, is it? Right? One of you masculine motherfuckers, the moment I just said this right now, there's a young killer listening to this, and the moment I said that, he's thinking, holy fuck, he's absolutely right, and he's going to go sign up to a night shift in a factory and work next to like fucking disgusting old men who are being like racist and sexist and everything. He's going to experience this soul-crushing few hours, probably end up like fucking having mental health problems in only a few hours, and he's going to go home that day and work 20% harder than the rest of the guys who are just like not going to experience some hardship. Hey, Pierre, this is not me saying like you need to become a good person. This is that you need to become the kind of man who is worthy for the money that you want to make. Many of us have these massive goals for money, but we're not even doing the prerequisites beforehand. It's like just obsessing over completing the Grandmaster quest, the Dragon Slayer quest, but actually not doing the prerequisites. You needed the skill beforehand. You needed like the level or the gold or whatever, in some games before you can start a quest. Many of us want the end result, and then we're sat here complaining about it. Many of us, look at the comments right now. Many of us are like, oh, but it's not going to be worth it. Like, should we just put ourselves at stupid risk? We should just do these things. Like, this is your competition, boys. Really, like the guys are exposing themselves right now. The man who's not willing to work hard and make some sacrifice. Imagine the same thing. Imagine the same thing for any young man who's saying like, "Oh, but I don't want the muscle soreness. If I go to the gym, my muscles get sore." What would you think about him? Pussy, right? So the man who says to you like, "Oh, but I don't want to go and do the hard work, the uncomfortable work. I don't want to start off with the low-end job." I'm not telling you to be a 9-to-5 rat for the rest of your life. I'm telling you that a weird 12-hour experience where you go and do a 12-hour nighttime shift and it fucks up your sleep for like 3 days, fine. That's going to change you for the rest of your life. You're literally going to be at least 5% more productive every single day for the rest of your life when you experience some bullshit like that. I know because I've done it myself. You can get 0-hour contracts. You can Google that if you want. 0-hour contract. Basically in a big warehouse. They do these all the time. Super quick to get into as well. If you ever need like fast money, this is actually not even a bad way to do it. But especially if you do the nighttime shift. Obviously, like nighttime shift works bad, but that's what I'm saying. It's only do it once so it doesn't permanently fuck up your sleep schedule. But just so you see the reality of like what fucking, what like broke people live like. Like, I've worked a 9-to-5. I've literally worked in customer service, having like customers scream at me, yell at me, swear at me, laugh at me because I was making £8 an hour. If I didn't spend that 1 month, just 1 month working in that job, I would not be here today. So I know that this is something what many of you wouldn't want to listen to right now because you're like, oh, okay, well, it's hard. I'll just stick to business. But it's interesting. You're not getting results in business either. Because you don't have that fucking like personality. You don't have that character of the man who's seen like the devil, who's seen the demons of reality, of like the shit jobs. I've walked into a customer service office and spoke to my new coworkers and asked them like, oh, so how long have you guys worked here? And when they've said 6 years with almost a tear in their eyes, I've had this burning desire since that point to not end up like those sad, sorry motherfuckers. No offense to them, they were nice people, but fuck me, what a disgusting life to live, right? Now, all of you know that, yeah, being in a 9-to-5 would be disgusting. All of you know that, right? It's like common sense. So you're thinking, oh, I don't need to do this kind of stuff. I don't need to go and get this hard experience. And yet, it's a different experience when you're actually up there doing it yourself. It's like you can say to a fat guy like, oh, exercise. And he can think to himself, oh, no, but exercise is painful. But you developed because of that pain. Just something to bear in mind. What are your prerequisites for your biggest goal? If it is money, you should be thinking to yourself right now, what are the things that you need to do? And I'm just going to say one thing, a couple of guys in the chat saying, oh, I disagree with your advice. How much money have you made, son? How much money have you made? If you've made a fuck ton of money and you're rich, fair enough. You give us your advice. You tell us your input. If you're broke and you've got less than like $500 in your bank account, bro, what the fuck are you doing disagreeing with someone? That's like a world-class bodybuilder gives you like advice, and you're sat there thinking, no, actually, bicep curls are actually better this way. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. If you got small biceps, don't you fucking talk about like how biceps are grown or something. If you're rich right now, if you're successful, by all means, come in and teach and teach us everything. Teach me some things. But if you're like a broke kid, it's like your brain hasn't gotten you to a good place in life right now. And so when there's some weird counterintuitive advice that your mentor gives you, like your mentor says, get into the cold, and you're thinking, well, no, but the cold is painful. You should be thinking like, okay, but why is he saying this? There's a reason. Usually like pain sometimes, like obviously sometimes pain is just stupid, but usually pain does come before results. Complete list of SMART goals. So this is an action step to do just before this lecture. If you've never done this before, just write out a SMART goal for every area of life that you want to grow in. and stick it up on your wall. I've actually got mine next to me as well. So this is just a tactic that I've always used, which I've always liked. If you've got a similar personality style to me that you kind of need to be obsessive over something, what I've found is like when you write down goals on pieces of paper and stick it up on your wall, it really helped me. There's a lot of guys who don't need this, and like they write a goal once and they constantly remind themselves of it, and it's fine. For me, I needed to live like a psychopath and just have it everywhere so I wouldn't like forget, basically. So it's just a weird tip for any guy who's got, I don't know, like a memory or whatever similar to me. Stick it up on your wall. You can use, it's called micro pore tape, and to be honest, I was going to say, yeah, you can use micro pore tape and it doesn't damage your wall, but it does. Like my entire wall is just covered in sellotape, so maybe ask your parents first. So breaking goals down is an interesting thing that I do. So I'm going to teach you exactly how I structure my goals. So let's just do it for 1 year, for example. So let's go 2024. So what I do is I set a goal for December of the year. And so, for example, one of my goals is to make 1 million a month, basically over this month here. So 1 million over this as profit. Another goal is, let's say, 4 million subscribers, right? A nice quantitative metric. Another thing is like 1 million guys inside of Adonis gang, let's say. So nice, easy numbers for us to focus on, right? So this is what I do. I first think about the end of the year and where I think I can get up to fairly realistically that I might be off by like 10 to 20% or even 30 or even 50%. But like, I kind of feel like this is fairly reasonable. I've seen other guys get up to this many subscribers in 1 year from where I've started. I've seen other guys get up to this much profit, like, 8x their business in 1 year. I've seen other guys grow like a 1 million free community. So it's basically like the Stefan and Duelsa said, reasonably unreasonable is a good way to describe it. So I start with December 1st. Then what I do, which is very interesting, is I break things down halfway. So I go straight to June, and then I think about, this is so weird that I do this, but this is how I've always done it. I think about what is halfway to this goal, but even less than that. So it's just such an autistic way. Basically, success looks like this. We all know this, right? Which means that if this is where you're at in December, where you're at in June is actually going to be less than half. So it's probably about 30%. This is what success will look like. So it's like, it's just this weird autistic thing where, for example, in June, I don't expect to be on, let's say, right now I'm on 2 million subscribers. So the middle would be 3 million, but I don't expect to be at the middle because I know that success compounds, which means that most of the results will come later on in the year. So in June, I would set a goal for something like 2.6 million subscribers, for example, assuming that it's going to be like this. And this is where June is right there. It's before like the halfway mark, like that, the J curve. Then the same thing with everything else. Then we'll do the, the AG, same thing. So if it's going to be 1 million there, we've got 50K right now. Halfway through will be 500K, but I'm going to say less than that. So we'll say about 250K. So this is how I've personally done it. I go end of year, half of year, or at least like, half of however, if this was May, then obviously I'd choose like September for this. And then what I do is I plot every month as well. So I plot where I want to be every month because I find that you can make a last push if you do this. So every month I have a number that I want to be on. If this is, let's say, just say 4 million subs, and this right now we're on like 2.3, and then June is 2.6. What I just do is I just kind of intelligently just plot along the graph. So you can imagine, okay, well, this one will probably be 2.35 mil. This one might be like 2.415, something like that, right? And we'll plot them this way, and then we'll plot them like this. This is how I've set goals. I don't know if it's like a special way to do them or not, but this is how I've always done it. And I've always ended up getting like very, very predictable results in the goals that I set. So when I had a goal for YouTube a few years ago, I went up perfectly. Many of you will remember that I used to have goals written on my walls of my videos, and I used to hit them on the exact month that I'd predict like a year ago. I remember I hit 100K on the exact month that I predicted. I hit 500K on the exact month, and I also hit 1 million subs on the exact month of the exact year that I was predicting. Always. So it's just, I don't know why this way works so well, but it's really served me well. So I just wanted to teach you this. If you just start right at the end of the year or whatever, like periods you want to use, and then just work your way backwards, and then have a month-to-month goal that you can constantly keep checking and see where you're up to. I find that that's very helpful, having like a monthly goal, because you start kind of working in alignment to make sure you reach that. So for example, if it's at like 2.33 and I need an extra, I don't know, 20k subscribers, suddenly it's like your brain starts thinking about how you do that. And you start thinking about the kind of video that might achieve that. And of course, you got to be careful because you might end up making, like we're saying, like the no fap videos and shit, which you don't want to do if you didn't want to, right? But it does tell you like how. So along with all the goal stuff that you do, you want it to be authentic. Like I should not have to show you this, but all of this should be authentic. All of this should be like, good work that you're doing. You should be trying to help people, not just like creating shit content and stuff. But for example, when I set these goals, suddenly my brain started to work on the kind of videos, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, well, I need to increase the quality again. I need to make sure that I've got an editor taking out those moments where I'm just wasting time. I need to make sure that we've got like thumbnails, but the kind of thumbnails that my viewers would like. I need to make sure that I'm making videos on the popular topics like dating and like relationships, the shit that young guys are actually talking about. Suddenly my brain came up with like 20 ideas. It's interesting that so many guys in the chat are also writing the kinds of videos that I'll end up doing, exactly like the no-fap ones. I'm going to make those videos. The second channel's there for you where I post daily, like the unfiltered videos. But suddenly it's like my brain started to think of like, oh yeah, like if you want more views and more subscribers, you basically need to appeal to more of the masses of Jeffries who need this advice rather than the smaller amount of people who are actually deep onto self-improvement. And it's like I've got the perfect setup for this. So this is like already my plan. It's like my brain's already thinking about this. There's nothing to worry about because for the guys who like my videos, you just go on Hamza Unfiltered where I'm posting daily. All right, any questions right now? We don't have long, so let's speed run any questions here. This is still authentic. Like I don't know if many of us don't understand the definition of authentic, because since I've been using this word, it's like many of us seem confused. Authentic just means that it's like it's real to you. So making a video on nofap doesn't have to mean that it's not authentic. Editing your videos doesn't mean it's not authentic. I don't know why everyone thinks that authenticity equals fucking like Sam Sulek with no editing, no cuts, no thumbnails and stuff. It doesn't. Authenticity just means like you're making the kind of thing that you think is important. And it's like I've realized how important dating is for young men, how important fucking porn addiction is for young men. There's a reason why those videos get so many views, because all the fucking young guys are experiencing it. So this is more authentic. I think like not posting the kind of videos because you're scared of people saying like, oh, you've edited it, it's cringe or something. I think that's the lack of authenticity. It can be authentic if you really feel like, oh yeah, like I don't want to edit these videos. Yeah, sure. But I don't think you should be thinking authenticity is editing or not editing. Just leave your questions in chat, boys. You don't have to raise your hand. I'll go through them a little bit. How long do you need to gain experience? It's such a vague question, bro. It's like, how long is a piece of string, man? It depends for what business model. It depends for what level you're talking about. In general, you only need to be like one step ahead of the people that you're trying to help. So if you're a young guy and you've recently been getting into fitness and you've learned that 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is the general thing, and then you can start teaching this to people behind you. So you only really need to be one step ahead. But if you can have a vast amount of experience, that's also good. You basically never want to stop learning. When we are young, what should we focus on? Experiences, yeah, but how do we balance it with business and self-improvement? It's tricky when you're young because you're also tied up in school. Just go follow the Adonis protocol in Adonis Gang. I think that teaches it quite well. That I've explained like the balance you should have there. And when it comes to making smart goals, is profit a better measurement than metrics? Do you mean metrics like YouTube metrics? If so, you can do both. It depends what you're optimizing for. So for 2023, I only optimized for money. That was it. I only optimized for dollars, and that's what I'd recommend most of you do. Now it's like I kind of feel like more money would be nice, but it's more like purposeful for me to just spread this message of self-improvement. Basically, I want to get as many men onto the Adonis protocol as possible. So it's like my goal now is no longer on YouTube, no longer on profit. It's now basically just on like subscribers, which isn't a perfect goal. We all know how bad it can be. You can have a bunch of like stupid subscribers. You could get subscribers from shorts and they're obviously all brain dead. But it's just like a metric that I'm kind of tracking, which in general, if I've got more of them with my understanding that I'm making like good, helpful videos, then I can understand that I'm having more of an impact on the young men around the world. For many of you, I would really say just prioritize profit and have that as the only big metric of business that you track, because tracking like views and retention and CTR is a little bit complicated when you just want to make your first 1 or 2K a month. How do we balance the time factor with getting life experience? Yeah, same thing. Go watch Adonis Protocol, the weekly adventure one module will teach you there as well. I'll make these some of these quick. Foresee failure. So there'll be a Huberman podcast you can go and see, which is on visualizations, which is very interesting. So visualizations are important and they are actually effective, but visualizing failure is actually more effective at getting success than literally visualizing your own success. So basically, close your eyes and see the moments that you might fail. So close your eyes and see the moment you might cheat on your wife. Close their eyes and see the moment you might commit some kind of crime because some guy was being like annoying to you in a bar that you eventually went out to, and you end up hitting him once and he fucking dies and now you're in prison. Close your eyes and see these moments of failure, because it's very important that you know what could end up ruining your success in life and also your longevity. And a question to ask yourself right now, you can answer this in the chat. Why aren't you at your goal already? Pick one goal right now and just answer it with brutal honesty, with humility. Why aren't you at your goal already? Why aren't you on 10K a month? I'm really proud. I'm really seeing like some good answers here. Fear, consistency, experiences, laziness. Yeah, very, very much. A lot of it is fear. A lot of it is like we entrepreneurs who teach the concept of making money online. You know, guys who've got a product on how to get beginners to make money online. It's like almost like a spoken thing, like a well-known thing, that when you're helping beginners go from making $0 to the first like few thousand a month, you've basically just got to help them to stop being retarded. It's as simple as that. Right now it sounds offensive. In a few years you're going to look back and think, fuck me, I was so retarded. I can't believe how actually like brain dead I was back on those days. It's like, just don't be brain dead and you'll automatically start making 5K, at least 5K a month. It's that simple. I know I sound horrible, but like in a few years you'll look back and you'll be like, oh shit, he was so right. Like I had so much potential, but I was just doing so much like stupid shit. It was just crazy. It was like I was getting advice from Hamza and then I was just not following it for half of the week, and I don't know why. I was just like doing the same thing over and over, even though it wasn't giving me results, and it took me 3 months to realize. I can't even like it's just strange. It's like in fitness, it's easier because you see if your body transforms or not, and you see if you've got shit form. In business, it's kind of like a vague thing because a lot of it is like, you know, it's in your own time. Someone's not watching your form in how you do things. But most of your time is just spent like unproductively, just coping and thinking about random shit that's not even like relevant to your business. And another question is, what additional knowledge and skills do you need? So think about your goal right now and really ask yourself, what additional knowledge and skills do you need? A few guys have asked, how do you know if you're retarded? This is... So, someone replied, if you had to ask, you are, my friend. No. How do you know if you're retarded? Honestly, you won't. That's the problem with like being brain dead, is like you can't spot that you're brain dead. The problem with also being brain dead is usually the only people you're around are also brain dead. Like imagine asking your friend like, hey bro, is my business good? Is my sales page going to convert? And he's retarded as well. But this is why you get mentorship. You join communities because someone can call you out. I could go onto your channel right now and see 20 things that you're doing like completely in a brain dead way. And you know what the funniest thing is? If I one-to-one coach you and sent you a video of those things, you know what would happen? You would think it was fucking awesome, and within 3 days you'd start doing them again. That's why you're retarded. Because you already fucking know. You know damn well what you need to do to change, and you keep doing the exact same things. How, like, that's retarded, right? You literally know what you need to stop doing, and you know what you need to start doing, but you keep doing the wrong things, even though you knew it. You just keep doing them. This is what we call like, this is just insanity. It's like the hardest part of this job for me is telling young men, like, it's not about the business models. It's not about like how to get more views on YouTube. It's like, we need your brain to work. Because when I was 21, 22 years old, I was retarded as fuck. I could barely even read a few sentences on a book before my brain just started to wander away. That's retardation, right? Many of us are so brain dead because of technology and porn and gaming and stuff that you literally, you can only read for a few sentences before your brain just shuts off. That's like being like 2 years old again. So what additional knowledge and skills do you need? Think about this for yourself right now. Think to your biggest goal. Let's say it's 10K a month. What would you need to be on 10K a month right now? Let's say top of funnel is YouTube. What's one skill that you might need for YouTube? Write that down. then let's say it's like some of the marketing stuff. It's trying to get leads. Let's say that. It's trying to get like leads onto your free community, for example. What skill might you need for that? And then it's trying to get like sales calls booked. Maybe you're selling high ticket or something, or maybe you're trying to get like a sale in your free community. What skill might you need for that? And then let's say you've been making money. Well, we don't want you to just be stupid and lose it all. What skill might you need for that? And out of all of these, think to yourself, which skill is the constraint? Like, do you really need to learn how to invest right now? I see this in Adonis gang as well. Actually, every now and then a kid will post and he'll say like, I've got £100. What do I invest it in? And it's like the blind leading the blind, where other kids will come in and tell him like stocks. And I'm just thinking like, he's doing nothing. He's literally reading these posts. He's not going to do shit after reading these posts, right? It's like if you've barely got any money, should you really be spending time on learning the skill of investing that money? Probably not, right? It's probably like somewhere around here is going to give you a better use of your time. So try and figure out which skill and knowledge do you need and vow to pay that price. So for example, when I was growing on YouTube, I knew that I would need to be able to speak better. I knew that I need to be able to position myself as like a leader of young men. Think about how fucking hard that is. Young men are ruthless. I needed to be able to position myself and speak in a way that young men would hear me talk and think, yep, this is the kind of man that I want to follow, and I'll dedicate my life to whatever his advice is. And I'll literally leave my current tribe because he said so. Now, think about the skills I needed for that. Really, the goals that you want to achieve, they basically just come from skills that you don't have right now. It's that simple. What skills don't you have for the goals that are needed for that achievement? Go and get those skills. To get a skill, you basically just learn it. Then you try the thing once, and then you just train the thing consistently. So you learn it by like reading a book, getting a lesson from me, getting a course or something. Then you try it. So it's like you start, free community, you start posting onto YouTube, and then you train. You just basically level up skills. You progressive, I can't be asked, such a long word, progressive overload. This is how you learn a skill, or how you level up a skill. There. Just like in a video game, remember? In a video game, you click on the little icon and it shows you, okay, here's the things you can do to level up this skill. Then you try it and you're like, oh, wow, it's working. And then you just grind it. And that's how you get a skill. You just need to just do this in real life. I know we're out of time, so if you want to leave the lecture, you can do. I think we've just got like a few more slides I'll go through. This is another question. Whose help do you need? So this is me sending Sam a message. Many of you might know him. This is Harbinator. And I was thinking about this. Okay, whose help do you need? Who could help you with your goal? So I thought, okay, my goal is to 4 million subscribers. I want to expand the message of self-improvement, particularly the Adonis protocol. Whose help do I need? And he's the first person that came to mind, and I sent him this message because I just thought like we both would probably need each other's help with the stuff we're working on. He wants to grow his business. I want to grow my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel grew a lot when he was by my side working with me, and his money and stuff grew a lot when he was by my side. So I literally, as I thought of this question, I sent him a message yesterday. So I took action on this myself. So ask yourself this as well. Whose help do you need? Maybe you need the help of an editor. Right? Maybe you're not a level zero YouTuber anymore. Maybe you've been posting consistently. It's time to level up now. It's time to get higher standards. Maybe you're not going to put like Jeffrey and Adonis dopamine or whatever stuff, but like you can put in some more efforts. Start paying $20 per video if you can afford that, right? So start like considering, okay, maybe I need an editor. Maybe I need someone like a accountability coach. Maybe I need someone else inside of our community to just grow along with, and we just do like one-to-one calls where we talk about, whatever we're currently working on. So I've got that sort of like mindset, that accountability. Whose help do you need for the goal? So write this down, because like if you're not going to take this seriously, you might keep struggling. With the money goals particularly, you won't realize, it's hard for me to explain this in a way that you might understand right now. But most money goals are specifically about hiring other people. Like literally, like the first few thousand is fine. You don't need to hire anyone. It's fine and stuff. You can just go have like a shitty YouTube channel and funnel people to like a page, whatever. But the biggest like money growth you'll have is basically when you hire someone that gives you an ROI on how much you pay them. So really take this seriously. If many of you want to like get up to 10K a month, how much are you willing to spend and hopefully get an ROI? I had to hire like 4 brown editors first before I ever discovered Sam. And, you know, I followed everyone's advice of like, yeah, outsource to India, outsource to Pakistan and stuff. And it was stupid as fuck advice because like I didn't get anyone good. And so, you know, it was a painful moment. I had to fire 4 guys first. Then I found like a little skinny white kid, video gamer, Twitch streamer. And I was like, oh yeah, he's perfect. He plays video games for like 12 hours. He knows about like holding attention and everything. Boom, hired him. And I only paid him like peasantry wage to begin with as well. Many of you saying like, oh, it's too expensive. Like it was, you know, on Fiverr, you can find someone who's new for like $5 for like 4 hours of their time, bro. So if you think you can't afford an editor, bro, you can go on to Fiverr right now and they won't do it long term. Like, you know, it's someone who's just starting off and they'll start it at like $350 or something. But you can like go and find really, really cheap people. And maybe that this is the next person you need to hire, right? You should always be thinking this phrase I like, who, not how. Especially, I'll say, for YouTubers. Now, this is a really interesting practice I want you to do. So this is an action step after this call because I fucking love this analogy, right? We have a guy and we have a 10-foot wall. And we tell him, jump over the wall. Yeah, he tries it once, hurts his fingers a little bit, and then he jumps back down. We tell him, no, jump over the wall, jump over the wall. He's like looking at it. He hurt his finger last time, you know, he scraped his palm, and he's like, go on, jump over the wall, bro. He runs up again, but it's like he pathetically like hits the wall again. That's it. Jump over the wall, bro. No, he won't do it. No, I don't want to. We tell him, there's a woman on the other side of the wall. Straight over. We didn't change the wall. Still 10 foot. We didn't change his athletic ability. Still the same. We changed what was at the end of the wall. The motivation. We heightened the reward. And this is even more so when you make it even better, right? Jump over the fucking wall and make it sick for you. Basically, the wall is like the work that you have to do. And this is the reward that we need to hype up to you, which I owe you an apology for, because for many months I was in that spiritual mode of like, yeah, money's not important, guys. But really it fucking is. There's a lot of good things that you'll get from pursuing money. And like we should be hyping those things up. Yeah, you can get 4 wives and shit, right? We should be hyping those things up to you, basically. Sorry, I didn't write. But basically, okay, your action step is to write a massive list of reasons why you want to accomplish the goals that you've set. So this is how it looks like. So for example, I'll have my money goal, right? I've got like 4 million subs, or I'll write like, let's say 10K, right? So you write 10K a month at the top of the page and write a massive list of random shit that like would make this better. So this is us like writing down basically the women. So we're writing, okay, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to move out. I'm going to, I don't know, literally, and be honest as well. Many, like, don't be embarrassed to say, like, I'll look cool on fucking Instagram. Girls might message me first. I'll be able to attract a better quality woman. Imagine having 50 of these written down. Your motivation to do the work, to jump over the wall will increase. You didn't even have to change who you were. This is like an easy hack of literally just performing more. Make it sick. For me, my wall was basically doing anything productive in my life. But let's say it's lifting, right? Lifting weights. Didn't do it. Moment I realized that lifting weights equals women, that's when I started to do it. That was the first time I ever did anything like productive and positive in my life. I just realized that lifting would equal to women. This is why I've been a big pusher online. I've been telling you people that I've been telling everyone on fucking YouTube that the reason why I've been lifting weights is for women. I was one of the first like YouTubers out there literally saying like, yeah, I go to the gym for girls. I had a viral video. I had one of the most viewed fitness videos of all time because I was the first like big person to ever say like, yes, go to the gym for women, because everyone else was a fucking pussy, right? Like all of you guys knew it. All of you were going to the gym to, like hoping to get girls, but no one was confident enough to tell you that's what they were doing online. So all of us were all just fucking like pretending next to each other like, yeah, I just do it for me, bro. You do it for you? Yeah, I do it for me as well, bro. I was the first guy. I was like, no, I do it for bitches, bro. bro. I was like coming in aggressively, and that might have been one of the first times that you actually like literally followed me, because I like my fitness advice was completely tailored to looking good to attract girls. Suddenly, that was enough motivation for so many young men to take the gym seriously. Suddenly, that was enough, wasn't it? Before that, this idea of like, yeah, building muscle, it's like, yeah, whatever, it looks kind of gay, I don't know if I want to do it or something. As soon as I told you that you'd attract women, suddenly you realize, wow, the gym's going to be amazing. I really think I'm one of the biggest people who've gotten like young men into the gym. And then when you see Andrew Tate and E-Man, they've said that money will get you girls. And now suddenly every young guy wants to make money. A few years ago, this was not the case. Like when I started self-improvement YouTube, the most common goals were all about like mental health and sleep and everything. These days, it's all about just making money, because Andrew Tate has hyped up just how amazing money is for young men. Get out of here, Dennis. Let's finish up. Make your plan of action. So your plan of action to wrap all of this up is you just need to think about the work that you need to do. And this is specifically, don't get like bored and dropped off now. This is the most important part. Right now, we've only talked about like the cute goal stuff and everything. Having the goal is nice, but even then, brokies have goals. You need to be able to sit down and do the work. This was all just direction setting that you should be spending your time doing like every now and then. But this is the big stuff right now. So you need to understand that there's daily, weekly, and monthly tasks that you need to do that are all aligned to your goals, and you need to commit yourself to them right now. So you need to think to yourself, okay, you know your goals, you know you are here, you want to get there. What is the line now? What is this? What things do we need to check off every single day? For me, it's like I check off the same things. I do a daily Dear Hamza video, and I post that to the second channel, unedited. It's like my like extra gift to the world of me giving advice to young men. Then I'm going to do this thing. Then I'm going to do this thing. And I'm going to check these off with pure discipline every day. And all of these align to get to this line. Like all of them align to like point B, basically. The brutal truth, like I said at the start, is most people spend most of their time doing shit that's not even aligned to their goals. It's insanity when you really think about it. That's how most people spend most of their time. And the weirdest thing is like they're still working and tired and effortful and uncomfortable. Like most people still work all day when you really think about it. It's not like, you know, like the Jeffrey, yeah, sure, he wakes up, goes on his phone, but he's still in school all day. The fat woman who wakes up and she's eating cake and stuff, but she's still working all day and she's tired. It's not like these people have easy lives where they don't do anything. Most people are just not aligning the tasks that they do to the goals that they have. So it's your biggest priority right now is to ask yourself, what tasks align to point B on this map? That's your biggest priority. And then pretty much all of your time should be aligned to your goals, and stuff like resting and stuff, fine. And then you should question any task that is not related to your goals, resting, and maintenance. And by maintenance, I mean basically like keeping up things that you need to keep up. So technically, like, what's an example? Like technically, like, being nice to your mother doesn't really align to making 10K a month, but it's maintenance, because obviously you'd be like a bad son and you would feel bad if you didn't. If anything, like certain things in your life, if they go too low, that will distract you from your goals. So for example, like being nice to your mother is kind of, you know, in a weird way we can say it would, because it developed you, but let's just say like it's not really, right? But if this relationship goes too downhill, then so will the 10K goal, because now you've got chaos in the household that's distracting. So you need to make sure that you either do all of your effort right onto your goals, let's say like 90% of your effort on your goals, and about 10% of your effort is just on like maintaining things that need to be maintained, making sure that your health isn't stupid, making sure that you're like still being relatively social, so you're not turning into like a complete social outcast, which then makes it harder to make money, making sure that you keep up like a healthy family, you keep going like exercising, even if that isn't a goal, maintenance. This is the single most important page. I know it's not the sexiest one out there right now. You guys love the one with the girls on there. I was like, activity just picked up. All it took was like a female stick man, and everyone's like, whoa. But this is the most important page right here. Don't overlook this, boys. This is the single most important part of goal setting, is actually doing the work that you know you need to do. You can't overlook that. Final thing is just a quick like visualization that I want to remind you of, but we can all do it together as well. So if you close your eyes, what I want you to do is specifically look out to feeling the emotions that would arise in this environment. Feel right now and see in your mind's eye the ultimate moment of success. So right at the end, when you've literally smashed the goal, maybe you see the bank balance, maybe you see the notification on your computer of how much money you've made, or you see the graph of how much your subscribers have grown. Maybe you look into the mirror and you are the leanest that you've been. Just pick one of those and try and feel the emotion. Feel how you genuinely would respond. It might feel a little bit cringe, but would you, I don't know, punch the air in like an excitement mode? Would you say anything out loud? Can you feel that heartfelt emotion right now? Then another visualization I want you to do is to visualize yourself completing the tasks that you need to do, the biggest, most important tasks. So we've visualized the end result, but now we need to visualize the work that we're willing to put in. So it's the hard day of recording where you're even a little bit sweaty underneath, but you feel so proud and almost relieved that now you don't need to record later. It's that workout where you wanted to leave halfway through and you were actually quite tired, but you just fucking bulldogged through it, and you're leaving with like this proud feeling and almost like this limp because of how hard you've worked, and you're literally smiling to yourself knowing that you've made muscle and strength today. Feel that moment however you need to right now, as if it was first person and you're walking in and you feel every step or every sensation, the smallest sensations you can think of. And now finally, I want you to feel the moments of failure, regret, and mistakes. You keep looking over at the clock, it's time to record, but you're like, oh yeah, I'll just do the other thing first. And soon it gets too late and you realize that you've just wasted the day and you should have recorded today. You kept on coping, said that you'll go to the gym later today, you'll go to the gym later today, you'll go to the gym later today, and then it gets too dark outside or you just can't go for some reason, and now you're like so disappointed with yourself. You carry on failures like this, one failure here, one failure like here, and that gut-wrenching pain when you see that your parents are experiencing financial troubles and they're hiding the electricity bill away from you. And you're thinking, what a dick you've been to like keep procrastinating on this stuff. And you feel horrible. You feel this gut-wrenching like sadness that you failed as a young man. That you could have started to like step up as the man of the house to help retire your family. And instead you just kept on pushing off the deep work task you needed to do just because you didn't feel like it. How bad would that feel? And now just one extra visualization and just one imagination I want you to do. Just picture why you're doing all of this to begin with. What's not just the end of the goal, but what's like the ultimate life that you really want, the dream life? Who's your woman? Does she have to work a full-time job or have you retired her? How are your children? Have they got seed oils and they've got like weird flabby stomachs, or are they mini athletes? Are you rushed? Like a dog, you have to go and commute to some work and have a boss above you? Is your wife going to work and her boss is flirting with her and he's like the alpha male in that situation because you weren't strong enough to provide? Or do you have the ultimate dream outcome where you have retired her and she looks up to you like you are the boss, you are the leader of the household, and you're so fucking wealthy that you're able to afford anything, like money doesn't even exist. Like you have this power and abundance inside of you. You still have problems, but damn, it feels good to not have this extra stress that most people do. Maybe you imagine your child looking up at you and you can be fully present with him without having this fear of needing to run away to go to work. All of you healthy. You can open your eyes now. That's what awaits you when you commit yourself to goal setting. The amount of achievements you can have is absolutely insane. You can truly get to the point when money is just irrelevant in your life. Everything that I want, apart from extreme things like houses, is free. Everything. I haven't looked at the price of an Airbnb, of a dinner, of anything in a store in so long. I'm not even exaggerating. I have not been in a store and looked at the price in over a few years. Today I invited 4 of my friends and my brother to my gym, paid the daily pass for them, which was fairly expensive. It's like £200. Didn't do anything to me. Doesn't matter. All of us went up, had an amazing workout, went to dinner, and as the dinner come out, I walked out, paid for everyone, didn't even look at the bill. I have not looked at the receipt. I don't touch receipts, obviously, but I've not looked at the receipt of anything in literally years. Imagine how much like my mind has been saved of that bandwidth of caring about peasantry shit. Imagine how extra free I am and masculine I am that I can take care of my people. When you work hard, this is the life that you can have. This is the life that you will have if you stay on this path. If you're the type of young man that is just, what is it, Saturday evening, at least on UK time, if you're the kind of young man who will literally sit down and watch an educational lecture, trust me when I say these are the actions that separate you from the other guys. Because when I was like the same age as many of us now, a little bit younger, I used to look out to those like Chad looking guys that weren't putting in the work and they seemingly had better lives than me. Trust me when I say that when you get to my age, the difference is clear. The difference is so fucking clear. Everyone I grew up with, everyone, they don't get to live a life like me anymore. They never got to live a life like this. So if you're feeling right now like, oh, you know, like I'm doing all this work, but my life isn't different. I'm actually kind of worse than that high status Chad looking guy who had positive feedback loop when he was in primary school because he dated a girl or something when he's like 4 years old. The differences compound soon because you're showing up to a fucking lecture like this. The fanciest gyms, restaurants without looking at the price. My girl said that to me. She was like, you know why I love going out for dinner with you? Obviously, she likes me as well, but she was saying in terms of wealth. She's like, I never have to look at the price and I can go and get whatever I want. But when I go with my mum, if there's something I want, it's like the most expensive thing on the menu. I always choose like something cheaper, and I hate living like that. It's just something as simple as that. Like you can take out someone and they never have to feel like they have to like get the cheap option. If I go to a restaurant and I don't like the food that I've got, I'll get more food. I don't ever think to myself, oh, I've got to eat it now. It's awesome. It is fucking awesome to be able to have this life, boys. So I'm just leaving you with that final motivation, basically putting the woman at the other end of your wall of work that you need to do, because it's absolutely worth it. The wall is the work, it's the sacrifice, it's the haters that you get on your YouTube journey. You've all seen, like, there's more videos of people saying that, like, Adonis school is a scam and all this bullshit. You might have seen that on your YouTube. This is the wall that we've got to cross. But here, at least for me, has been impacting the lives of my students, of my men, of changing the trajectory of humanity forever because of this. And I wonder what this is going to be for you. You've got a few action steps that we spoke about in this lecture, especially this one. I really want you to post this one onto Adonis School. I'll make like a big post so all of us can just comment what we've got below. And if you're willing to like share your answers, that'll be super cool, so we can all get like a massive list of desires, things that we want to do for our family and our loved ones. Thank you for listening, boys. I'm sleep deprived, so I hate all of you. Sweet. Thank you for having me, boys. I'm just going to unmute everyone. What did we think of the call today? You can unmute yourselves now.
It was awesome, man.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, bro. Okay, I'm going to shoot off to bed. Thank you for listening to me, boys.
Good night, Ham.
Take care, boys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, man.